I went to Bucharest from Israel, and so what this architect, at least I believe it was an architect, decided that the only way to get it out of Ceausescu's way was to actually move the church. So what they did, at least that's how they told me the story, is they solidified the foundation of the church. Well, it was already quite solid, and they jacked the church up in its whole, and they basically put it on the rails and moved it out of the way to another place in the city to make sure that that church could be preserved. And from that moment on, actually, what I've heard is that there are several structures that they moved in that kind of way, and they're still moving in this moment in time in the same way they're still moving a lot of structures actually all around the world. But that was the start of it. Then I went to Dubai, and then I came to India. I flew into Trivandrum, and from there on I visited basically Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, and then so that's where I am now, in Hyderabad. Yeah. Kerala was an interesting experience because I met a lot of interesting people in Kerala. I started in Kovalam Beach, Lighthouse Beach to be precise, and what I met this guy there, and he was from South Korea. I was just walking on the beach in the morning that I arrived. It was like 6 in the morning, way too early, and I saw this guy camping on the beach, and I was like, that's quite out of the ordinary, a guy camping on the beach in India while all the accommodation is not too expensive. And I saw that this guy was from somewhere around China, Korea, or Japan, so I decided to approach him and talk to him. Well, apparently he was a musician. He played the hang drum. I don't know if you've ever seen that instrument. If you look it up, you'll see it's really amazing. And eventually I ended up hanging out with him in Kovalam. He went to Varkala and I went to Varkala the other day, and we camped together on the beach in Varkala for another 4 days around New Year's Eve. And from, that was actually the beginning of my travel in Kerala. It was kind of surreal because I was hanging out with a lot of people that weren't from India in the beginning, till the moment that I went to onto the backwaters more and ended up staying at families, Indian families. Had great experiences according to actually the Indian hospitality and the Indian cuisine, because the best food I had was at families, at their homes. They're preparing the food for you that's totally different than anywhere you go to a restaurant. That was Kerala until I ended in Munnar in Kerala, which Munnar, you just talked about being there as well, right? Wow, Munnar is an amazing place to see. The stretches of tea plantations everywhere. You get the best views up there.